And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the next part of my Sonic CD playthrough. And this time, we're in the second level of the game, Collision Chaos. Now, first thing you want to do is you're going to head to the right, past all these neon signs and all. We run into a long-standing part of the Sonic franchise, well, at least up to this point. This is our first appearance in the series, and we also see the appearance of Metal Sonic, who we won't really have much to do with until like the very end of the game. But it's there nonetheless. Amy doesn't really do much in this game. She's just kind of a damsel in distress because clearly this game needed one. Of course. Anyway, moving on. The second level of Sonic CD takes a very pinball-y type design. If you're familiar with like Sonic 1, which would be like Spring Yard Zone, or Sonic 2 Casino Night Zone, kind of similar parallels from here. Or in Sonic 3's case, Carnival Night Zone. It definitely has got like that kind of futuristic neon sign thing going for it. Anyway, we're searching for a past sign because we want to destroy both the roboticizer and the Metal Sonic hologram projector. And we're coming up on it pretty soon. Here and now we have a past sign, and we can just use the momentum and the physics from this kind of closed-in loop to make it easy to travel back in time. Now, this is like one of the roboticizer machines that actually kind of stuck me where it was for a while. It's one of the ones I had actually referred to a map to find, because you go backwards for this one. I know, in a game around exploration, who would have thought? Anyway, take that to here, and just remember that your arc and your velocity determine. Well, your velocity determines your jump height, your arc. So the faster you're going when you jump off a ramp, it changes the jump arc you can take. So something useful to keep in mind when trying to do things like that. So if you're not getting it on the first time, try like doing a different launch off point. It doesn't have to be like dramatically different. It could be just off by a tenth of a second. That could be the ticket. Anyway, go up this way, take the spring, and we find the Metal Sonic hologram projector. Not that it does a lot, but I think it just adds some random animals to the screen. Oh well. The things one must do for 100%. Anyway, I'm going to grab the future sign and do this, and we go back to the present. And of course, because we did that, all the enemies are gone and replaced with animals and flowers and whatnot. This is the only Sonic game to use flowers as something that get left behind by enemies for some reason, though. I'm not exactly sure why they went with that decision, but nah. Anyway, you go up here, and just like before, you can use just the way the loop is closed in to travel to the future. Well, we're traveling the future, not the past, but you get the point. Anyway, the good future of Collision Chaos. It's still bumpy and wild and stuff, but it's a lot prettier. I really like the change from like the purple to the blue sky. And Collision Chaos has this small like water bank at the bottom. You can't really ever interact with it. It isn't a proper water level, but I always like that being there. It's kind of neat to look at, and kind of gives a little character. Yeah, we're just gonna head off to the end of the level now. Yeah, this extra life's positioned in a kind of an awkward place, but yeah, nothing we can't deal with. This isn't also the kind of game that's going to drain your lives a lot. There is a time over if you hit 10 minutes. However, if you travel back in time and your timer is at over 5 but not at 10, it'll just revert back to 5. I believe I show this off in title Tempest because getting all the machines in the past can take a while in Title Tempest. Anyway, we're at special stage number 2. The special stages do get progressively more complicated and more difficult. And these little pads will shoot you on in their direction, so keep that in mind, especially if they're positioned in a way to shoot you directly into a path of water, which obviously you don't want. The yellow signs are also, well, they'll send you floating up in the air, but you can't really control your momentum, like, up and down. So you're kind of just stuck in it till you touch the ground. And the special stages are kind of designed to take it. The Sega CDs, one of the Sega CD's capabilities as an add-on, offers sort of similar to a Mode 7 functionality, a la the Super Nintendo. Though I was never a big fan of Mode 7, either on either the Super Nintendo or the Sega CD. There's a few games, and I'm not talking specifically on one console, but just in general that make decent use of Mode 7. I'm not really sure I would qualify the Sonic CD special stages as one of them. They're like, I like them mechanically. They're not particularly deep or anything, but they're amusing and a neat little time killer. But visually, just the flat perspective of the kind of Mode 7 just has never looked all that appealing to me. And this is really apparent with some Super Nintendo games. There are a few that actually make it look fine, like Axlay, a shoot 'em up. Apologies for not being able to speak properly. A shoot 'em up on the Super Nintendo where it actually uses Mode 7 to give this really funky kind of perspective that showcases you being on this gigantic horizon. It gives really a sense of depth and scale that you don't really see a lot in games that genre. I would like to cover some shooters, like particularly 2D ones, not first-person shooters or anything. I don't have that much experience with that genre. But the problem lies in getting good gameplay footage, because shooters are a very, very difficult genre, especially when it comes to getting competent footage that isn't, like, dying all the time. Anyway, through that monologue, I gone to the future and showed off what the bad future Collision Chaos is like, and like other bad futures in Sonic CD, it's pretty bleak. Not gonna lie, it's not exactly pretty, which is why you should never let that happen. The music for the Collision Chaos Bad Future of the US version is really something. I really liked that kind of guitar line. Anyway, well, we'd pick up a future sign, but we don't want that. And I was actually really close to inadvertently going to the future, which I didn't want, which wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world, but probably would have tempted me to cut the recording and start over. Instead, what we're doing is looking for a past sign. Unfortunately, though, those little orange balls don't give you points like the proper bumpers do. Kinda weird. Anyway, if you have a past sign that you don't really want to use, but like say you're up against a spring, one thing you try to do is just slow down, like come to an immediate stop. And while it's like Sonic has the flashing sparks of light behind him, you'll just disable it entirely, but you will lose the sign. Not for good. You can like restart the level and it'll be unused again. Anyway, we're back in the past. One thing I always liked about Sonic CD is sort of like the kind of general mood it has, and it's not like Sonic CD is an incredibly atmospheric game. There's a particular mood and charm to it that doesn't really exist in some other Sonic games. I don't think it's not my all-time favorite game in the series, but I like it for what it brings to the table. Anyway, there's the Metal Sonic hologram projector. Not that it's really ever necessary, it doesn't impact your ability to get a good future on it, but if you want it, there it is. Anyway, I was going to say that Sonic CD, each level and even each period, like good or bad future, past, present, etc., it's like, even though they have pretty similar level design, there's enough differences, and just even something as simple as changing like the background colors can change something from being pretty peaceful to something rather sinister, and that's a quality I really like about Sonic CD. But you have folks that really don't like this game, so I guess it may have worked for me, but not for everyone. Anyway, if you took that path, you'll get to the roboticizer machine. So with that done, we can basically finish this act up and move on to the boss act. So far, levels haven't been too terribly long, even exploring through them. But that's not going to be the case throughout the whole game. There's getting all the stuff, like 100%ing this game, is going to be a bit more time-consuming on later levels, like upwards of 20 minutes per level. So just to give you fair warning about that. I still really like that waterfront. I mean, it doesn't really do anything mechanically, but I get a kick out of it. Anyway, I'm ignoring that big ring because I only want to get one time stone per level. That way, I don't inadvertently get all the time stones early, thus kind of defeating the point of getting all of the roboticizer machines destroyed. Really showing off where they are. And the waterfront looks really nice in the near future. I really didn't get a chance to mention it there. But now we're already at the boss. And boss acts in Sonic CD are really short, even shorter than Sonic 1. Anyway, we have a bit of a pinball table. Kind of... Well, this was actually released before Sonic's Pinball. I might cover that at some point. Pinball's kind of hard, though. Kind of hard to get good footage of it. And just shoot up to the middle, and there you go. And that's all the time I have for this part, so see you guys next time.